To hug or not to hug? That is the question. Because from today, as many of you will know, we are allowed to hug people again. It feels like it's been forever. What's been interesting is I've spoken to a lot of people about this, and more than I thought, numbers of people said to me, you know what, I'm going to stick to the rules as they are now, because I've never liked hugging. It's always made me feel anxious and awkward. I'm like, wow, as a raving extrovert who loves a big hug, I found that quite interesting. But I want to present the case for hugging. I think loving embraces, human touch, has been massively missed from life in this last year. I think it can be helpful. I think it has healing properties. I think it can make us feel so accepted and reassured and calmer. And actually it can make us feel healthy. I've done a bit of a research on this, and lots of studies have been done about hugs and loving embraces. And it's actually good for our heart because it slows our body down, it makes us calmer, and the heart has to do less work. Therefore, we live longer. So it's healthy for us as well. But you know, I think in a spiritual sense, hugging, the loving embrace is really powerful. It does things for us in here that we're probably not aware of. Now I'm talking, loving embraces with people we know well and in a safe way and all that sort of stuff. But I'll never forget, just I have a really clear memory when I was 10 years old and a girl called Sarah Jameson dumped me and cut my heart out with a spoon, and I was devastated and I ran home, and me and my dad weren't particularly huge hugging types, but I got home and he saw I was in distress and he threw his arms around me and I sobbed my heart out, and it was just a really clear memory of his embrace making me feel so much better in here, and that I just felt like it was all going to be all right again. Now, the Bible is littered with examples of human touch. Jesus did it all the time in healing and things like that. I think the most powerful example of it in a spiritual sense was the story of the prodigal son. Some of you all know it really well. The son takes his family inheritance and clears off, leaves his family, spends it all, and wild living and all the rest of it, ends up poor and destitute. So he decides to go home, thinking his family and his dad will reject him. Actually, what happened, he's on his way home and his dad sees him and he runs to him. And the Bible says that he threw his arms around him. His arms around him in an embrace of love and acceptance and forgiveness. And I have missed you so much. So I think a loving embrace can be really powerful. And there's lots of people on my list who I can't wait to hug. And if you're not a hugging type, that's fine. You've probably got other ways of showing that kind of love and affection. But my point today is, do not underestimate the power of a hug, of a loving embrace.